I was done. I was I was ready to get my heels off. Like at 40 something, you start the night off looking fabulous and ready to go out and have a great girls' night out.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, these heels.
They're killing me.
I want my yoga pants. I want my bed
And my slippers.
I want to be comfy. I want to take this bra off. I'm done. I'm done.
I'm done with all of it.
Yeah. I had a great, but I did. I had a really fabulous time last night. And do you know this comedian, Kevin Nealon?
I don't think so.
I'm sure you do. He was on Saturday Night Live.
Okay. I really dislike when people say that. Do you know? No, I don't. Yes, you do. It's like, no, I don't.
Did you ever watch the show Weeds?
I watched like the first or second season.
Do you remember the lawyer?
Not really.
Do you know the commercials?
I'm old.
Okay.
I'm over 40. I'm not supposed to remember that stuff.
Okay. Hans and Franz commercials.
Yes.
Okay. The taller guy,
Okay.
Kevin Nealon.
Okay.
So I was right.
I do know him.
Yes, you do.
Well, not on a personal level or anything
Okay.
like that. Anyway.
Well, very, very funny comedian. He was performing last night at Stand Up Live, and that was where we went. He was great. There was another comedian. I cannot remember his name. He was very funny too. But in my opinion, the superstar of the night, what?
Gosh, don't get all choked up about it.
I'm totally getting choked up about it. The superstar of the night,
Yes.
was a woman by the name of Jill Bryan. She's a local.
Mhm.
She lives in Gilbert. She's a mom. She's hysterical. She was the one that opened up the show and was kind of the MC. I think that's the role that they like.
Oh, so she's the one that comes in between acts and everything.
Like she, yeah.
So I
she-
guess is that the MC
I
maybe at a
think-
comedy show? Maybe.
I think so. Well, she opens the show and then she's the one that kind of bridges the gap between them and introduces the next
Okay.
one. She was absolutely hysterical. I did not want her portion to end.
Mm.
And at the end, I was really left wanting more of her. I'm a huge fan. I think Jill Bryan, I would love to see this lineup. Jill Bryan, Danielle Williams, and I know that there are some other really hysterical female comedians. That's the lineup I would love to see. But Jill
But you
Bryan-
could only think of two of them.
well, that's the thing. I don't go to. I don't.
I don't either.
I don't do a lot of comedy. But last night was such a great experience. It really left me wanting more. And I'm gonna find out the next time that Jill Bryan is performing anywhere.
Mhm.
I'm gonna find out about it, and I'm gonna drag you to it.
Can she do like a 6:00 show so we don't have to?
Well, it
Do
was
the-
last night. That was the thing. The show was like 7:30.
So it wasn't that late.
It really wasn't. I mean, truly. Like I said, I was on my way home at 9:30, and I felt like it was so late.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
Yeah. I only had here's the other thing about getting older. When you were in your 20s and you'd go out to the bar,
Yeah.
and the bartender made it kind of a heavy pour,
Right.
you were like, yeah. Last night I literally said to the bartender, don't do me any favors. Don't make it strong. I want the pomegranate press, but I want you to go light.
I want it weak.
I want it weak. Like, how funny is that?
That is funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So how was your week?
My week was good.
How's your job going?
Love my job. Absolutely love my job. So it is going well. I have now a countdown for James. It's now like 41 days.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think we need a
until his
countdown
leave.
clock.
I know. So I'm very excited for that. So no, I had a good week.
You know how cool it is that we both love our jobs?
How
like-
cool is it?
It's incredible.
It is really awesome.
incredible. Like, I remember this is the thing that was funny about my old job. It was like when Friday would come around, there was that, it was kind of bittersweet because it was like, yay, it's Friday.
Right.
No, I have to go back on Monday.
Right. Right.
But with the job that I'm in now, I love my job. And as Friday comes around, I'm like, oh, it's like, I'm happy, but I'm like, yeah, I can't wait till Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. And I had to laugh. I got a text. I thought this was quite humorous. one, I thought it was humorous because I got this text, mind you, at 10:45 p.m. last night. Okay. Now,
Okay.
and this is someone that I used to work with. So they're an acquaintance,
Okay.
but not like a friend.
Okay. Now 10:45 at night.
10:45 at night. Like if you text me at 10:45 at night, I'd be like, oh, Christina's awake. She's texting me at 10:45 at night. But someone that I really, like I said, is an acquaintance, not
Right.
a friend, never gone to dinner or happy hour or saw a movie or met up on a weekend. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just an acquaintance that I used to work with sends me a text and said, you are one of the finest salespeople I have seen, and I believe a person of your caliber would do well in the environment I am at with full benefits as well, to be just being honest, to make six figures. No bull crap. Otherwise, I hope all is well with you. And I was like, you're texting me at 10:45 to try to get me to come work at your company? Like, who does that?
So this was an acquaintance that you used to work at, but is no longer at the company that you were at.
Correct.
What kind of work are they doing at 10:45 at night?
I don't know. Like I don't think. I think his job is more. I mean, he's in sales in the same banking type thing that I am. So I'm assuming he's still in that type of field. I just think for some reason he thought of me at 10:45 and said I should see what Michelle's doing. But I'm just like, who does that? Like, text me during the week. Well, it was a Friday, okay, but like Friday night is now weekend.
If we don't know each other on a friend basis,
Right.
there are certain times of the day that are, I mean, just social norms.
Yes.
Like you don't text someone before 9 o'clock in the morning, and you don't text someone or call after 9 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Like that's the time for, that's the window.
I agree with you.
And on a Saturday, like if it's someone who's an acquaintance and you're going to text them on a Saturday or call, it should be after 10 o'clock.
I think so too. In the morning, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think so too. So yeah. So no, I love my job. I'm not even going to respond. It was 10:45 at night. I'm like, really? Why are you texting me?
I love that. I love that we both love our jobs.
I do too.
And for anyone in the sound of our voices, if you hate your job, actually, if you hate anything in your life, you really should make a change because life is short and staying in a space that you're unhappy in, it's not good for you.
Speaking of people with jobs, you want to start the WWW?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So there might be some people out of Salvo Sports, an Indonesia clothing company that might be looking for a job. And look, it's gonna tell me all about it. So anyway, so this comes from, there is apparently this clothing company, okay? And they're in Indonesia, and they do some type of jerseys, okay?
Okay.
On the instructions, you know how on the instructions it tells you what size the shirt is,
Sure.
the name brand of the shirt, and then it has the washing instructions.
Yep.
They put washing instructions. Give this jersey to your woman. It's her job. So they have received quite the backlash on Twitter and everything. And of course they have. Personally, I think it's hilarious. I really, really feel like they did this to be funny.
Do you think they did it to be funny?
I absolutely think they did it to be funny. However, what I love about them and whoever does their publicity is how they have spun this in the washer, complete turnaround.
Nice pun.
Yeah. This is what their quote is. There is no intention to humiliate women. In contrast, we want to tell men, learn from women how to take care of clothes.
Because women would do it right.
Correct. The message, instead of washing it the wrong way, you might as well give it to a lady because they are more capable. Now, I don't know what's funnier, the fact that this the washing instructions are what they are,
right,
or the fact that literally their public relations person put that comment out. Like this was this was a compliment to women.
I thought it was funny.
I think it's hilarious. I would buy the shirt for someone just because of those instructions.
Sure.
Like I want one now. I hope they don't quit making. I want one. I think it's hilarious.
Do you think they're going to quit putting that label in there?
I am assuming.
See, this is a problem. This we're moving into this space where everything is so politically correct. You know, I'm sorry, but there are some jobs that are, and not that I'm saying that only women should do the laundry, but there are, you can't argue the fact that there are some jobs that are better for women
Pink
and
and
better
blue.
for, I got to tell you, Rob shared with me, I just want to let you know, I just did a pink job.
Yeah, a pink and blue job. Laundry is a pink job. I'm sorry. I mean, some of these tweets that they got,
Read some of them.
oh my gosh. Okay, so one is your tag is not funny. Domestic works are not women's job only. Is this how you treat your mother? I can tell you right now, my mom was here for 5 weeks, and if there was a stain on a shirt, I absolutely treated my mother that way because she is the queen at getting stains out. I'm like, Mom, can you do
Right,
this?
right.
So yeah, it is how I treat my mother. That was one of them. Another one was, I'm not any more expert, quote, at boring domestic chores like laundry than a man. Recall the jerseys and learn women aren't slaves.
How, okay, that's a huge leap.
Right? Like, come on, where's our sense of humor? Can we not have any sense of humor
I
anymore?
don't think so. I think people are completely incapable of it.
I think so too. Like I said, I thought it was funny. I want one. I'm
So-
going to wear it inside out just so people can see the washing instructions.
So here's the thing. Is it offensive? Like commercials that have men doing, like Lowe's, Home Depot, they have commercials for weed product, for different things that have to do with the yard work.
Right.
And typically it's a man who's pushing the lawnmower, riding the lawnmower. I mean, typically they're targeting that to men. Is that in some way offensive? Where are the feminists that are coming out and saying women can do that too?
Right.
You know what?
The
Women can
feminists-
do that too.
They can. And I guess I have to go back to, I am very, people are going to take this the wrong way. I am very glad.
I love it when something starts with people are going to take
People
this
are gonna take this the wrong way, okay?
Let's do it.
But let's be honest in the fact that our family units have gone to hell
Yeah.
since women are more in the workforce and, things like that. The family unit is not as strong as it was years and years ago. So,
And that's not to say that it had to be. I don't think that the family unit went to hell when women went to work. I think the family went to unit when one of the parents left, when both parents left the house. So had women decided to go to work and the father stayed in the home, but when
Right.
you remove that stability of a person that's there, that's running the household, that's there before the kids go to school, when the kids come home, instead of the latchkey kids, there's a lot that is missing there.
there is. So, you know what? Keep some humor, people. So what if the shirt is there? I think it's hilarious. I think their reasoning is even more hilarious, but
Here's the thing. It's not like, okay, I'm going to read to you advice from a 1949 Singer sewing machine manual. Did you see this?
no.
Okay. So it's not like the jersey label was saying this. Advice from a Singer sewing machine, from a Singer sewing manual from 1949. Prepare yourself mentally for sewing. Think about what you are going to do. Never approach sewing with a sigh or lackadaisically. Good results are difficult when indifference predominates. Never try to sew after a sink full of dirty dishes or beds unmade. When there are urgent housekeeping chores, do these first so your mind is free to enjoy your sewing. When you sew, make yourself as attractive as possible. Put on a clean dress. Keep a little bag full of French chalk near you, near your sewing machine, to dust your fingers at intervals. Have your hair in order. Powder and lipstick put on. If you are constantly fearful that a visitor will drop in or your husband will come home, you will not look neatly put together. You will not enjoy your sewing as you should.
Wow. There were
Okay.
instructions on when and how to sew?
Okay, but here's what I'm saying. That was a very different mindset.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of the feminists that saw this label. Like 1949, that was stereotypical. This is how all women should behave.
Right.
That piece of philosophy, that idea, that concept is not equal to the label. And I feel like some of these women think it is. Do you know what I mean?
Well, and what I think is that I think the women that are outraged on this, you know what? I can be a strong, independent, working woman and still come home and do the laundry. And I'm okay with that.
And I'm okay with you opening the door for me. And I will say thank you.
Yeah. So, I just, like I said, I think, people are a little too uptight. I really think so.
In our society, we don't the pendulum doesn't stay in a balanced position. We go from one extreme to the other extreme. I mean, it's a constant instead of just a little bit more balance.
I agree with you. Balance is something this woman didn't have. Maybe she'd done too much laundry or something. It doesn't come out of Florida, though. It actually comes out of Portland, Oregon. This really isn't funny, but for some reason I found this article. Like, I feel bad for the woman. She needs help. But an Oregon woman set herself on fire while driving, crashed her car on the interstate, and then jumped off the highway bridge. She has survived the ordeal and is being treated at a Portland area hospital. Police say on Friday.
Okay, you know what I found? One of the quotes in there that made me go, really? They believed she was trying to end her life.
I know. I want to be that type of detective. Like, I want the obvious ones. I don't want to have to try to figure anything out. Just give me the blatant ones that I can make some statement and people are like, wow, she's smart. I mean, this woman was driving, lit herself on fire, wrecked her car, and then jumped off a bridge. And she's alive. Like, if this is not a sign from God to her that, you know what, you're here for a reason.
Right.
So I hope that this 40-year-old woman, I hope this changes her outlook on life and she realizes that, you know what, I'm supposed to be here. For some reason, I'm supposed to be here.
But do you think she will?
I don't know.
I wonder.
But, I mean,
I wish that they had more information on this story.
And they don't.
Which means it must be a government cover-up.
Probably.
Maybe she's an alien.
Maybe she's a CIA agent.
Maybe she is. Maybe she knows too much. Maybe. We're about to lose our feed.
Anyway, I don't know. I was like, wow, some people like take a pill or, this lady did like 3 forms and still made it through.
Right.
Like, she's one powerful woman. This woman can sew and have a job and do the laundry.
Do the laundry.
Yep, she's a tough woman.
I wonder what led to, I wonder what happened, what's going on in her life, or what was going on in her life that got her to that point.
I don't know.
I hope there's a follow-up story.
I hope there is too.
I hope there's
I said,
more.
I hope that this kind of brought a little bit of clarity to her life as far as, you know what, maybe I'm supposed to be doing more. So speaking of doing more and a wonderful story, because Christina always likes when we have wonderful stories.
I do.
Yeah. In 1961, a 17-year-old at the time, Jimmy Turpin, left the high school that he was attending to go serve his country in Vietnam. So after 54 years, he has been awarded the diploma that he missed out on all those years ago. So the high school has given him his diploma, and what made this even more special is his granddaughter graduated the exact same day.
That's awesome.
So I think that is awesome.
Yeah. And he's going to be able to walk the line and get his. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he said that he was hoping he could use his diploma to do something good with his life. So he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
So, but I thought it was a wonderful article.
That's awesome. Did you know I never got to walk the line in high school graduation?
Really? Why?
Yeah. Before I graduated, the semester before I graduated, I had gotten really sick and I was in the hospital. And so I missed some credits. So I did I ended up getting those credits through an online thing. And the official notification didn't come back in time. So it was one of those, logistic issues,
Yeah.
and like the week of graduation, like I've got people that are coming into town
Yeah.
the week of graduation. They call me into the counselor's office and said, you know, you can't walk the line because all the paperwork hasn't come back in, so you can't walk the line. I said, this is crazy. This is absolutely ridiculous. Just give me a blank piece of paper. Well, no, because technically when the principal stands in front of everyone and says, everyone here has met all of the requirements, technically you haven't met all of the requirements.
That was kind of a bunch of crap.
It was an absolute bunch of crap.
Because they don't even really give you your diploma that day anyway.
Exactly. I went all the way. Like I was fighting with everybody. I went up yeah. I mean, I graduated. I got my diploma. I just didn't get to walk the line. Not that I'm
That's
bitter.
a bummer.
Mesa High School.
Yeah, she's obviously still really angry about this.
Not bitter at all. Mesa High School.
Make sure your security cameras are active and working.
Mesa High School.
So Mesa High School. So
but I'm over it.
Yeah, you sound like you're over it. Well, you want to talk about one of your stories that you brought on, or do you want to talk about another wonderful?
I want another wonderful.
You want another wonderful?
Yes.
All right, so let's do another wonderful. I will tell you, you're going to think this is wonderful, and then I'll tell you what I think at the end. So, this comes out of Danville, California. Okay, and Arlie Smith has worked at a Costco for over 20 years. Okay, he's been there so long that a lot of the customers know him. I don't know the size of Danville, California, but I'm guessing it's not super, super huge. But last year, the 45-year-old was diagnosed with terminal bone cancer and was told that he only had 2 years to live. So some of the customers came together and they raised some money for him and his wife to go on a 4-way getaway to Laguna Beach.
That's awesome. It's
It is
beautiful.
awesome.
And when you watch the video, which we will share on the page, when you watch the video and you see how choked up he gets, it's really quite beautiful. I was surprised. Okay, so do you go to Costco?
I do go to Costco.
Okay. I couldn't tell you anything about any of the people that work there. So as I read the story, I thought, wow, am I out of touch? Do I not pay attention to people? Because I don't know anything about the people that work at Costco.
Well, but that's why I'm wondering if it is like, let me look at the population of Danville, because it's different in smaller communities. You know what I mean? Like Phoenix is a big city.
Right.
So the way I think that people,
But
when you
okay,
go to
that's-
stores and things like that, I mean, I think that a lot of people,
I think different stores, like there's a certain there's a certain local convenience store that you go. I've gone in there with you before. I think it's AM PM.
Yes.
You must stop in on a regular basis because whenever you walk in,
Yeah.
the people there seem to know you. So I think it kind of
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Michelle is known at the AM PM.
No, but I'm just saying different stores like Costco, the person that's greeting you, the person that, is looking at your receipt as you're going out, you don't usually engage in a deep conversation with them. It's a very short window of time that you're in front of that person.
That's true. Okay, so that you know, the population of Danville, California is 43,000. So it is a small community. Okay, so that one is going to be different. I'm assuming they probably know him also outside of Costco.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
So, and it also depends on what type of person he is, because he might be one of those really, really outgoing people that he's the one that interacts
Sure.
with the customers, and because he's nice and they come once a week, they have
He
I mean, it's been 20 years.
Yeah, and he probably strikes up a conversation. So the people at our Costco here,
Maybe it's their fault.
they suck.
Right. Our Costco people suck. You're not like Danville,
You
California.
need to, bring your A game next time.
That's right. He cares.
Yeah.
You guys don't.
Obviously.
Right.
He
That's-
gets greeting. They don't. So what was your take on this story?
Okay, well, the take on the story for me, I did think it was absolutely, I think it's wonderful.
Okay.
But there was just this little part of me that, like, when I first read let's read the Title of the article.
Okay.
Terminal ill Costco employee breaks down as customers surprise him with a vacation. And I'm like, "Aw," you know? But then when I got to the end, at the bottom, Kay's in California, it's a 4-day getaway to Laguna Beach. So I kind of felt like, man, like, couldn't have you said it? Like, he's dying. Like, couldn't you send him to like some country? Like, couldn't you have like maybe raised some more and put him, got him somewhere outside of the state, maybe?
Okay. I'm glad that you brought up. Okay. No.
I know that's me being whatever, but I'm just thinking, man, he's gonna die. Like, could have you done a little more? Maybe.
So here's the thing. Couple thoughts. He's sick. I had the same thought. Well, why only $2,500? Why only Laguna Beach? But in the video where they're talking to him, you can see that, and they said this is his favorite place. Here's the thing with a terminally ill cancer patient, there's a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And going out of the country could be scary. I mean, we don't know what medical issues he's dealing with right at this moment because he also does have MS. So there could be a lot of pain. There could be a feeling of going too far away from doctors might not be in his best interest.
So now you're going to try to make me feel bad because I thought they should have done more.
No, it's a legitimate, I had the same feeling. And I thought of my dad who had cancer and getting him to plan a trip, 6 months out.
It's
hard. It's hard.
Okay, so great job.
Yeah.
You the customers of Costco, Danville, California. I mean, it is wonderful. Like it's wonderful. So forget that I'm the bitch and I'm sorry. And good job, Danville.
You're not the bitch, but you want to know who is a jerk?
Who?
The CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. He's an absolute jerk.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what he says. Women who are overweight, he doesn't like them. They're not cool. That's why he won't make women's slacks larger than a size 10. In a quote, he said, this was in an interview in 2006, in every school, there are the cool and popular kids, and then there are the not so cool kids, he told the site. Candidly, this is in reference to the site Salon. Candidly, we go after the cool kids. We go after the attractive, all-American kid with a great attitude and a lot of friends. A lot of people don't belong in our clothes, and they can't belong. Are we exclusionary? Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Okay. So
did you ever wear their clothes?
Well, no, I'm from a mid-class. We wouldn't have been able to afford Abercrombie and Fitch. I mean, that wouldn't have been something that I would have had the luxury to do when I was in high school. Now, his statement is absolutely, positively horrible. Okay. However, every company has a niche market. So I think like I said, the way he has stated it and the fact that he's assuming that an attractive all-American kid with a great attitude and a lot of friends is skinny, that's a huge, horrible statement to make.
Absolutely.
Because there are tons of attractive and popular kids that aren't going to fit into a size 10. Okay. So his statement is absolutely horrible. However, if the company's niche market is because I always thought of Abercrombie & Fitch not necessarily as the cool kids, but the kind of like skaterish, like the dress, like their dress, like what they wear was not something that really I would wear. It wasn't my style.
Mm-hmm.
So every company has the right to have a niche market.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
They also have a right to have a CEO that's a jerk.
You're right. So what he said is wrong.
Yeah.
If Abercrombie and Fitch want to make clothes from size 0 to 10, they absolutely, this is America. They can do that. He just didn't need to make the comment that he made.
But a size 10, I mean, okay, so size 10, the next size up, that's a size 12. I'm sorry, but a size 12, that is not overweight.
No, it's not.
It's absolutely not.
It's not overweight. But their niche market is not. And I mean, their niche, like I said, when I hear that name brand, I hear of the scrawny, lanky, skater kids.
Yeah.
That's what I see. So if that's their image, that's their image.
You know what's interesting to me is several times I've walked into their store, and this story did not surprise me
Mhm.
because several times at different sizes in my life, I've walked into that store. And at smaller sizes, I felt very well received. At larger sizes, I felt ignored, and I just felt like it wasn't a very welcoming
Mhm.
environment. So I guess I've
But I think there's a lot of stores like that. If you're not their target market,
but you don't know. I mean,
Okay.
judge a book by a cover.
you're right. You're
You
right.
don't know what's in my wallet.
But for example, I walked into the Coach store in what's the little place right up here? I don't know the little area it's called. H&M is up here. There's a little shopping area up here, and there's a Coach
Okay.
store. And I had taken a Coach bag that was not a knockoff, people. However, it was the weekend. So I was ball cap, tank top, shorts, flip-flops. That's
Right.
what I walked in with.
Right.
And I walked in with the Coach bag. I was going to get some type of a cleaner for it. And the lady was so rude to me, like
Really?
looking at me like the way she looked at me was like, that must be a knockoff purse because there's no way you can afford a Coach purse. Now, did I buy it on clearance on their website? Absolutely, because I'm not stupid enough to pay full price for a Coach
Right,
purse.
right.
But you know what I mean? So you can't, I mean, all stores are like that. All stores have their niche market. The salespeople judge. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's a reality. But he's still a jerk.
He's an absolute
Mike
jerk.
Jeffries is an absolute, his quote is horrible. Absolute jerk.
And I will never shop there. Never.
What if I tell you there's a really cute sweater there that I want? And it's all I want.
I'm not shopping
And it's like
there.
my 50th birthday. And I have to have it. You're not going to go buy it for me?
I am not going to go shop there.
You're going to disappoint me? If you say, what do you want for your birthday? And it's the only thing I want, you're not going to go get it for me?
Odds are that's not going to be the only thing you want.
You're probably right.
But going back to the
I'm
Coach,
trying to guilt you into this.
it's not going to happen. Going back to the Coach purse.
Yeah.
Did you get a cleaner for it?
No, she told me that it was impossible. She goes, you're not going to be able to get that bag clean. It was white. I should have never bought it. But what someone told me was that if you take your Coach purse, they take their Coach purse to a Coach store on the west side and that they will clean it for them. So that's why I had gone in to see if they could clean it. Like, if I bring this to you, can you clean it? And if not, can I get a cleaner? And she said, we don't do that. And I'm like, well, I know there's a store on the west side. They do it. And she goes, we don't. I mean, she was rude.
Oh my gosh.
She was really rude.
So are you going to go to the one on the west side?
Nah, probably not. That's far. The west side, that's like a whole nother world.
Well, I have a Coach purse that I love,
Yeah.
and it is filthy. It's not white, but it's absolutely filthy, and it needs to be cleaned.
The material is hard to keep clean, I
It
feel like.
really is.
I think
All right,
so.
we're going to go to a break, and when we get back, we've got a lot more stories to talk about. I'm Christina.
And
I almost said I'm Michelle.
You did?
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You are too much.
This is No Limits, where we have a lot of topics and we are never short on opinions. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Maybe.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face to face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
Veterans served us, now it's time we serve them. As a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as a current military member deployed abroad, I would like to take a minute of your time to tell you about Patriot Hills of New York. Patriot Hills of New York is a nonprofit organization providing support to veterans and their families. They partner veterans in need with over 65 health and wellness organizations, community groups, as well as philanthropic foundations providing no or low-cost services. They've helped over 400 veterans through confidential referral services, assistance with veterans issues, employment placement, as well as educational opportunities. If you need assistance or just want to help veterans by donating your time or services, contact them at info@patriothills.org. Again, that's info@patriothills.org. Visit patriothillsnewyork.com for more information about their services or how you can donate. Our veterans deserve no less. We can give it to them, and you can help.
You're listening to No Limits Radio Show on the Vets on Media Network.
Okay, that was the quickest break.
I know, right? It seemed to go pretty fast.
Flew by so fast. So up next, we're going to talk about wedding superstitions. I knew that there were some, I knew that there were some, but Michelle brought to my attention one that I had never heard of. So Rob and I are planning our wedding at some time in the future. And Michelle was asking about, things like the bachelorette party and, where we were going to have the wedding. And then she mentions what time of day. Well, I don't know, I hadn't really given it a lot of thought.
You said like 4 or 5.
Yeah, somewhere around there, 4 or 5, somewhere between 4 and 5. And then she said, well, it has to be on, how did you describe it? It has to be on the up.
Yeah, so it has to be at like 4:30, not 4. Because you want time going up, but not down. Like that's what I was always told. Like back home, no one gets married at the top of the hour. Everyone gets married at a 30.
Because you don't want it to be going, the clock to be, but you understand, you're looking at a clock. I mean, time doesn't really go up or down.
Correct. Because you want to get married with things going on the rise up. You don't
want
the
down.
Yeah, because you want, to bring in your life together on an upswing.
Okay, so did anybody do like a study of how many marriages were at, the time going down and then compare those to the time going up?
I have no idea. I just know that
it's just the way it is.
That's right. A Mercer County wedding was always at a 30. Always.
That's really...
Now, of course, I'm divorced. So I don't know if it's true.
Were you married at 4:30?
We were married at 6:30. We had an evening, a true evening wedding with just appetizers.
Are you sure it was 6:30? I mean, if it was 6:29,
oh no, it was 6:30.
You're for sure it was 6:30.
I'm pretty sure.
Positive.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, there are actually a lot of superstitions around weddings. Watch out for blind guys and pregnant women. In older times, a guy sent a trusted friend or family member to chat with his potential bride as part of the marriage proposal process. But if the person saw a blind person or a pregnant woman on the way to her house, it was considered a bad omen.
Why? Why would the pregnant woman be a bad omen? Like, I feel like most people, especially back in the times that these were probably superstitions, like having kids was something that was a given. Like you would want a lot of kids.
Right. I would think that would be a sign of something good. Fertility and yeah. Okay. Your last name shouldn't start with the same letter because it's bad luck. There's even a little rhyme. To change the name and not the letter is to change the worst and not the better.
Change for the worst and not the better.
Yes. It's to change for the worst and not the better.
So meaning you can't marry like if your last name is Smith, you shouldn't marry someone whose last name is
Scott.
Scott.
Right.
Okay.
Which,
What if you don't change your name?
oh, that's just got to be horrible.
Imagine the statistics
you got to
on
be
that.
just, well, but okay. So my last name was Bendixson and then I became Wagner.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, that didn't, having different
You're
letters.
divorced also.
Yeah, I'm divorced also.
Just ignore.
Okay. Don't get married in May. Another marriage rhyme or warns against weddings in the 5th month of the year. Marry in the month of May and you'll surely rue the day.
Rue the day.
Rue the day.
Huh.
But where, I mean, these superstitions are so hysterical. Like, where did that come up? And again,
Is it really
I want,
bad that I don't remember if I got married in March or May? I think I got married in March.
Really?
I really don't.
I know it was June that I got married.
Do you know what day?
Oh, geez.
I think mine was like the 14th or 16th.
You know what's funny?
I think it
is
was the 16th. I think it was March. I think it was March 16th.
Wait, no, it wasn't. Wait, it wasn't. No. Oh, crap. It wasn't June. Sky was born in June. We were married in May because I was like 8 months pregnant when we got married.
It's a really good thing that we were not the men in the relationship because we would not remember the anniversary date.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Either. No, wouldn't
I gotta-
remember.
I got to tell you a really funny story. I completely forgot our anniversary. One day specifically, and I have to say, in my defense, Zephan was in the hot. Like Zephan had been born and had a lot of complications.
Right.
So Zephan was born in April. Our anniversary in May. I had bigger things like my son's life on my mind than our anniversary.
Right.
Mark kept telling me that he had a surprise for me, and I mean, with everything we were dealing with, I thought that was kind of crazy. Well, on the day of our anniversary, he leaves to go to work, comes back. He's standing at the front door with flowers and a jewelry box. And instantaneously, I'm like, at first I'm like, oh, how sweet. And then he says, happy anniversary. And I'm like,
Oh crap.
oh crap. And I felt like this big,
Yeah.
which, you know, here's the thing, looking back on it, that was really shitty of him.
Well, you got married in May. That's the problem.
And I rue the day.
Yeah, you rued the day and many years to come.
Yep.
Number 4, your wedding dress color can predict the happiness of your marriage.
So so here's a nice little rhyme. Married in red, you will wish yourself dead.
Married in yellow, ashamed of your fellow.
Married in green, ashamed to be seen.
Married in pink, your spirit will sink.
Married in gray, you will go far away.
Married in black, you will wish yourself back.
Who gets married in black though?
Who gets married in any of those
these
colors?
colors?
Like I thought it was going to say white or cream. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like why you should pick white, why you should pick ivory.
But actually pink, I have seen some really pretty pink wedding dresses.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. Number 5.
Thank
The
you.
wedding veil offers protection. While veils might seem outdated and even silly nowadays, they're supposed to ward off evil spirits, according to a Roman tradition. By hiding the bride's face, the veil supposedly keeps any wicked ghost and bad juju away. Does this include the evil mother-in-law? So,
All right, number 6, spiders are good luck. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Okay. Find a spider inside your wedding gown before you walk down the aisle. Shriek all you like, but know that according to English legend, the creepy little guy is actually a best of luck omen.
If there
I'm-
was a spider in my wedding dress, I'm not getting in it.
I'm jumping out of that dress.
Yep. I'm going to go
Like-
find a red one.
Get me out of that dress as fast as you can.
Hungry cats are also good luck. One of the more outrageous superstitions say that having a cat eat out of your left shoe 1 week before the wedding is good luck. Oh, wow. Okay. Number 8, Christina.
don't drop the rings because you'll die.
Wow, that's a really, really extreme superstition.
That escalated quickly. Apparently, if you or your man accidentally loses hold of your wedding bands, whoever drops the rings will be the one to die first, which is totally something you want to think about during your marriage ceremony.
Wow. That's
Okay.
not good. Okay.
Your choice of flowers can bring good luck and bad. Roses symbolize love, which could be why they're popular for weddings, but all of your pinning photos of peonies on Pinterest might want to think twice, including them in your wedding decor, because they represent shame. The one that I love the most is number 10. Buy something ASAP. If you want to have the upper hand in your marriage, be sure to make a purchase before your hubby does, says one legend. One way some brides do this is buying some small items off their bridesmaids right after the ceremony.
That's funny. What's it supposed to do though? Like,
Gives you the upper hand.
whatever. That's a problem because you shouldn't have an upper hand in your marriage. It should be even. That's all I'm saying. Let people throw shoes at you. That is number 11. Custom mandates that wedding guys throw shoes at the newly married couple for good luck.
That's crazy. You want to know what else is crazy?
What?
Doctors performing a penis transplant.
Oh my gosh, I saw this one.
Okay, so apparently in Africa, they have issues with doing circumcisions, which
I don't understand.
I find that very odd. And I mean, last week we talked about circumcisions and
We
how,
did.
you know, you just have to, it has to be done.
Well, the difference is here it says a number of men lose their penises due to complications with traditional circumcision. So I don't know in there like what a traditional circumcision is. Like what is the process? I
True.
think the process there is probably different than our process here. Maybe.
Right.
But I was confused as to whether they lose the penis because of complications, or it sounds like sometimes like
Is it infection and like it's gone gangrene?
right, but sometimes it sounds like it's just amputated. So I'm like, well, how do they mess the circumcision up that much?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But so here's the thing that I find interesting. They're using the same technology that's been used on facial transplants. And it's microscopic surgery to connect the small blood vessels and nerves. The thing that I find interesting is why this is the first time that we've heard of this, because is the surgery for doing a transplant very different than a reconnection? Because we've heard, I mean, there have been many stories in the news of what was her name? Lorena Bobbitt that chopped off,
Right.
you know, they reattached that. I know they reattached that because I remember him being on like some stupid daytime show talking about the porn that he was going to be in. There was recently a guy whose penis was cut off.
Mhm.
The wife went back into the hospital after they had reattached it, cut it off again. So
Really?
Yeah.
Like she is determined
to make sure that thing is gone.
That's funny. Well, I think the difference here is that this situation is not, oh my gosh, we accidentally or some random person cut off the penis and we're now going to reattach it. This was actually a donated penis. So the quote from
Who
the physician
donated?
was, the heroes in all of this for me are the donor and his family. They saved the lives of many people because they donated the heart, lungs, kidneys, liver, skin, eyes, and then the penis. What I thought was, I think that's why this is a story, because so are people going to be like donating penises? And what really made me laugh about it is I was like, what if like the guy that I don't know if this guy was white or black or Asian, but what if what if the person that donates it's like a different race? Oh my God. That's all I could think about was,
Is it the same color?
right. Like, what if it's a different race? Like, could you imagine if it becomes like common practice to donate your penis? Like, what if you're like, you know what I mean? Like, what if you're Hispanic and you need a penis and a white guy dies and donates it to you? Do you say, I can't take that one? I mean, like, how do you explain that to your future lovers? Like,
and was there any conversation about size?
I don't know. I just like I instantly just, for whatever reason, when I read this article, like I just saw like the penis being a totally different color and it just looking wrong.
Oh
like
my
it
gosh.
just looking really wrong. That's well, anyway, good for this guy. I'm glad that he's okay.
Oh,
But whatever.
do you find, if I said to you, have a blessed day, would that be in any way offensive to you?
No.
Well, somebody going through Robins Air Force Base found it offensive. The gate guards at Robins Air Force Base in Georgia were told not to give the greeting after someone complained to the Military Religious Freedom Foundation. The ban was issued after the foundation complained to the base. When the story went viral, the Air Force reconsidered its action and reversed the ban.
This is another article similar to the women, you know, give this to your woman to wash this.
Right.
People are becoming really, really too sensitive and critique everything. Certain people are religious. You may be, you may not be. However, if I'm a religious person and I am just being polite to say, have a blessed day.
Or when you sneeze, God bless you.
Right. You know what? I don't mean any offense to that. I don't know if you're religious or whatever, but in my world, that's what I say.
Where is it in the Constitution that it says you have a right to not be offended? I don't know. I feel like I need to go back and look at that and find where it says you have a right to not be offended. There is really, in my opinion, we've gotten very off track in society where it's this constant, you have to protect me from being offended.
Right. And the reality is if no one is ever offended and if no one ever has a different mindset, this world would be completely boring and nothing would be going on.
Absolutely.
You want people to be different. How do you learn about different things, about different viewpoints, about different cultures, about different beliefs, different religions, if you don't have people who are different?
Yeah.
So
I feel sad. I feel sad for people that are constantly looking for what offends them.
And you also know, speaking of what offends people, the controversy around this picture.
Oh my gosh.
That was on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, which I happen to think it's an absolutely beautiful picture of a soldier holding their child wrapped in a flag.
What's interesting is
and it's
that
beautiful.
The soldier that's in the picture, the spouse of the soldier, and the photographer, they are all either active duty or veterans in the armed services. When I saw this story because James had shared it, and in the video, it has the clips of the codes for the flag. And when you look at that, like you can't fold, you can't there are certain things.
There are certain things.
Right.
So you can't have it up in dark unless it has a light on it. There's a lot of
It's not supposed to be vertical. I mean, there are all
supposed
these
to touch the ground.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So there are all of those things. But I didn't find it in any way offensive. When I saw the different things about it, I thought, okay, I can see where somebody might say, you know what? You're not following the code, the proper code of the flag. But you got to step back and you've got to look at the heart and the emotion in that. This is a picture of their baby.
It is.
And the flag is being held with strong arms, and the flag is protected just as much as that baby is protected. So what I saw there was love, compassion, protection, patriotism. I didn't see something that was so offensive. And I feel like, once again, people just need to.
You can say a bad word even though Parker's in here.
They just need to. I don't want to say a bad word. They just need to chill out, okay? I mean,
well, my issue is the controversy is like they're desecrating the flag. No, they're not. And if we're going to say that, then what about all the the clothing that is of a flag. You know what I mean? I mean, if we're
Right.
going to say, but I understand that this is a real flag versus an image of a flag. So I understand that there's a difference. But I personally, I think that the flag is beautiful. And again, I think it's people finding something to complain about.
When we are living in a time when there is a college campus that has voted to have the flag taken down, that is offensive to me. This picture is not offensive to me. When we are living in a time when people are burning flags still, yeah, you might have the right to do it, but you shouldn't. Those things I find offensive and it hurts my heart. This picture gave me a very warm, fuzzy feeling, and I thought it was quite lovely.
I thought it was beautiful too.
So
I agree.
anyway, sorry, I just get really,
You get so angry.
I get so angry.
I know. Do you want to take a break? We have a guest.
We do have a fabulous guest. So we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we're going to share our next guest with you. So don't go away. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.
As a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as a current military member deployed abroad, I would like to take a minute of your time to tell you about Patriot Hills of New York. Patriot Hills of New York is a nonprofit organization providing support to veterans and their families. They partner veterans in need with over 65 health and wellness organizations, community groups, as well as philanthropic foundations providing no or low-cost services. They've helped over 400 veterans through confidential referral services, assistance with veterans issues, employment placement, as well as educational opportunities. If you need assistance or just want to help veterans by donating your time or services, contact them at info@patriothills.org. Again, that's info@patriothills.org. Visit patriothillsofnewyork.com for more information about their services or how you can donate. Our veterans deserve no less. We can give it to them, and you can help. Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey, everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552. or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face to face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
We're back?
We are back.
Okay. Welcome back. Man, those breaks are not nearly long enough sometimes, it feels like. All right, so in studio, we have Mark John, who is taking really good directions. All right, so he is an artist. I first became aware of you because one of our friends, Sherry, told me you have to connect with this man. He's a wonderful artist and he donates so much of his work to great local causes.
Yeah, it actually started out about 14 years ago. I drew this piece right here titled American Pride. And here, I can help you hold it up there. And basically what I've done in the last 14 years is I've donated over 600 of these to different firehouses and military installations all over the world.
So what prompted you to do, and the one that we're holding up here is one that you have donated to the Brian Terry golf tournament that's going to be in Dallas, Texas in April.
That is correct.
And you know what I just love is, and he just shared this with me, there's 2 that he's donating. One is for the event and one is for the family. So I know that the Terry family will really love this, and this is truly gorgeous. Now, what is the medium that you've created this in?
The original was in charcoal.
Okay.
And then what I do is I like to do something unique, and I like to touch each piece myself. So I color each flag by hand.
And how many? You've made 600?
Over 600. I'm on 645 will be the next one.
Tell me how it is that this started for you.
You know, I'm from Chicago originally, and I was working at a bar, bouncing.
Okay.
And I basically was dating a gal out there, and she had a niece that was about a year and a half old, and she had a brain tumor. So she asked me to put on a benefit. And I, you know, since I'm an artist, I figured I could draw a couple pictures to help raise some money. And I drew a picture of Walter Payton because he had just died of cancer. And I was thinking about another piece that I could do. And I had the A&E channel on behind me. And as I was brainstorming at my table, the show caught my attention. And by the time I turned and looked, it was the video footage of the 3 firefighters hoisting up the American flag after the 9/11 attacks.
Wow.
So it was like a light bulb went off, and
Sure.
about 27 hours later, I was done with it.
And
Wow.
over 600 later.
Yes.
This is amazing. Now, I know that last weekend, Michelle and I were at the Phoenix Wounded Vets Run, and you were there also, and you had dropped off a piece as well.
Yes.
This is really quite incredible. This piece, this next one here.
That is titled Waves of Strength. I can actually hold it up for you here. What I'm doing here is I'm doing a soldier silhouettes, it's titled, of a military painting series. And I'm trying to raise awareness and pay respect to the military. And I'm kicking them out. I'm staying up day and night trying to finish them and trying to get them done as quick as I can. So far, the military community is just overwhelming positive response. So, you know, I was not in the military. I kind of missed my calling there. Had kids that when I was young and wasn't able to join then, but now I'm trying to contribute in any way I can, especially in this day and age. You know, you see so much negative going on in the news and on television, and everybody is kind of voicing their opinion. You know, back in the day, we didn't listen to the idiots so much. We ignored them. But now it seems like they pay attention to every little thing that they do. So every time I hear something bad, I try and counter it with something good, like your last segment when you're talking about the UC Irvine.
Right.
That's what actually inspired me to do this piece right here.
And the UC Irvine, that's the college that voted to take down the American flag because they didn't want it to be offensive to anyone.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people? Like,
Yeah, this is America.
right.
You know, I mean,
you're
I'm
offended-
all about, you know, people want to come over from other countries for the education, for the better life, or whatever it might be, and coming through the correct channels. I'm all for it. But you are in America. So if you don't like our flag on every corner, then maybe this isn't the place for you. And if that offends you, or if that's me being a bitch or whatever it is, I'm sorry. But I would never go to another country for whatever reason that is and be upset that I see their flag hanging up.
Well, and in some countries, if you voice that,
Yeah,
you're
I'd be
dead.
Yeah, exactly. So all I'm saying is, you know what, people, this is America. So get over it.
If it's offensive, leave. Leave.
Right.
Well, you know, my way of thinking is if you can't stand for the flag, then get off the land. Because what about offending all the people that died and shed the blood for this flag over the
Right.
years? Are they ignored?
Right.
You know, and it's bad enough that our government, you know, they make these guys sign these contracts and they hold them to the letter. But when they come back, they have issues and they have problems, and the government fails to address them. So that has really inspired me to do this piece. Actually, I was going to, when I first heard that they did that, the student body up there, I wanted to drive up and drop off an American Pride picture and put it right where they wanted to take the flag out.
You know what I think would be, it was interesting in that story. They said that part of the reason, so the flag currently is not on display. It's in an office because people keep taking it down. People keep stealing it. I thought, what an interesting solution. Let's just put the flag in an office to protect it instead of, you know, I'm sure that there are local American Legions that they could reach out to, an ROTC program on campus. And I'm
Absolutely.
sure that would gladly guard that.
I'm surprised they're not there doing it already.
You know what would be interesting? And on-campus ROTC would be great. I think having retired veterans, inviting them to do that might be an opportunity for an education for those students, to get to see face to face the people that served our country and to have a conversation with them and to learn a little bit more about what they experienced, what they went through, why they served our country. It might be a really great education for these idiots.
I totally agree with you. And you know what? I'm actually going to come out with a book that features all these paintings. And what I've done is in all my travels over the years, I met a lot of veterans. I've been to Camp Pendleton before. I've been to Great Lakes Naval Base up in Chicago. Actually, I'm getting ready to do a 20-city tour in my way of fighting against terrorism. And there's a list of the cities that you have right there. And I'm actually, June 8th, I'm going to go down to Virginia Beach, Virginia, and visit 4 or 5 different naval bases down there and just spread the word and donate and let people know that some people still do care. And they're, like me, I like to think that I'm morally correct. I could care less about politically correct. So,
I think that's the best line, the best statement that I've heard in a long time.
Yeah,
that's a good
well,
one.
I was raised with morals and values, and my dad was in the Korean War, my grandfather was in World War II, and I have respect for my elders. And I wasn't raised the way these kids are these days. I mean, they have no respect, and if they were in the service, they would think a little bit differently, because you notice you don't hear a lot of service members. They're not the ones talking about the flag. They're not the ones wanting to take this out and take that out and take God out of everything. They don't realize in the Supreme Court, there's Moses and the 10 Commandments and everything there, but they're very selective. Even the atheists, they don't want God, but they're spending that money and it says, "In God we trust."
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Okay. So this 20-city tour, okay. So are these all firehouses that you're going to?
the ones on the left are the firehouses, and then the ones on the right, like the Pentagon, I'm going to visit and donate a set of the military prints. In Indianapolis, we're going to, I organized with 2 friends of mine, an organization called American Pride Incorporated. And what it is it is 3 of us. My friend Don Baxo, he's a survivor of World Trade Center Tower #1. He was on the 56th floor. And then my other dear friend is retired Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Yantis. He was a Pentagon survivor. So the 3 of us have gotten together, and we want to do some things to help out. Like, for example, we want to give scholarships to firefighters and first responders and military, because usually, when they fall on duty, usually they're the breadwinners. So it's hard enough to send those kids to college with their finances the way it is. But when you lose that, it's just almost impossible. And, nowadays you see more people complaining about everything, but they're not doing something, and my dad taught me a long time ago, there's 2 different ways you can handle an issue. You can sit and cry and whine about it or bitch about it, or you can figure out how to resolve it and how to get through it.
Sure.
And that's just the way I was raised. So, I might rub some people the wrong way, but I'm not politically correct, so I could care less. I know I'm doing good things, and the blessings happen. The good Lord blessed me with the ability to draw. I'd rather help people than, trying. I'm a true starving artist.
I was going to say, you donate a lot of your work, but are there places to buy your work? We have, people listening that, are patriotic, but they're just an individual, so do you sell work? Do you have somewhere where people can buy some of your stuff?
Well, I really don't, because what I've done is I've firm in my purpose with not trying to make money off of tragedy. And when I did this piece in that benefit, it was actually re-raffled and given back 14 times. So it made over $7,000 in the original, benefit. I think she needs a tissue.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But anyway, that's really, I'm very passionate about what I'm doing. I'm very patriotic. Let me catch a guy trying to burn the American flag. Let me catch a guy trying to, do something like that negative or talk about this country. My luck is I always see it on TV, but it's never in front of me. Let somebody try and hijack a plane when I'm on it, and we'll see what happens.
So if someone wants one of your pieces, they really need to find out what event you have donated one of your pieces to, and they need to go there and they need to bid on it.
Well, that's usually
That's-
the way it works.
okay.
Or it's word of mouth. If somebody hears about me, they might seek me out. And I'm not against selling them. I have just never marketed it.
Okay.
I've never pursued making a profit off of what I've done.
How can people support you though? What's the best way? I mean, aside from this artwork, is there other artwork that you do market and that you do sell?
No, because
Because right now he's too busy.
exactly.
With doing all of this.
exactly. I like,
Okay.
for example, I have 9 pieces to do in the next 5 weeks. And I have 75 flags to color because I'm going to the FDIC April 23rd. That's the largest firefighter convention in the United States.
Sure.
And American Pride Incorporated, we got a booth there, and it's like our coming out, you know. So if they want it, if anybody wants an American Pride drawing, that is the event.
And because you have this commitment to touch every piece, you know, when you said the number of pieces that you still have to color in the American flag, my first thought was, well, what about having some young student artists help you? But that would be in conflict with your commitment to touch every single piece.
Everything that I do is done by design. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So, you know, I actually even have the copyright for this. My mom talked me into it, so I have to give her a little bit of credit. And
The
it's
copyright on this image?
on this image right here. Yeah, I have the closest actual artwork to the actual footage
Wow.
that was taken. And, you know, it's actually even inspired. One thing I want to mention, it's even inspired my nephew. He's 8 years old. He's in Thornton, which is south of Chicago. And he went with me to a couple of donations a couple of years ago when I went to Camp Pendleton and stuff like that. And he just had a ball. And a real quick story, it was 9/11 last year, and he was in school and he was watching a video on 9/11. And right at the end of it, there was, I don't know if I didn't see the footage, so I don't know if it was the actual footage, if it was the real picture, if it was my drawing, I don't know what it was, but he raised his hand and, you know, he calls, my nickname is Biz because I'm always busy. So he calls me Uncle Biz. So he says, he raises his hand, he tells the teacher, he says, you know, my Uncle Biz drew that, and he gives them away all over the country. And the teacher kind of brushed him off a little bit, and it got in his brain and it bothered him. So he went to, you know, he goes to stay by my mom's every weekend, and he told her about it. And it just so happened the following weekend was grandparents' day at the school. So my mom, you know, being the way she is, she kind of talked to the principal on that. And to make a long story short, when I go out to Chicago in the middle of doing that tour, May 22nd, Don Baxo, the survivor, and I are going to go to the school, and Jax is going to give a little speech, and Jax is going to not only donate to the school, they're having an assembly for him, but right down the street, we're going to donate also to the firehouse in Thornton, Illinois.
That is beautiful.
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really beautiful. Really beautiful. I love your artwork. Is there a place that people can go to see the artwork and all of the different events that you're doing?
Well, you know, I'm basically on Facebook at this point.
Okay.
You can go to American Pride Journey page. And that is what I do is every time I donate somewhere, I usually take a picture with the guys from different firehouses. And then I post them on that page. So if anybody just wants to see the travels of where the picture, and, you know, it actually gives the fire departments a little bit of exposure as well.
Okay, that's perfect. And so the Facebook page is The American Pride Journey, and we'll share that on our page as well, so that everybody can go there and see that. Just really, honestly, truly beautiful. I know that you're not going to be in Dallas for the Brian Terry event. I will be taking these pieces with me when I go out there, and Christy Lynn Miller, who's the organizer for this event, I have a feeling she's going to be extremely touched when she sees this, because she lost a lot of very close friends in 9/11. So I didn't know what the piece was that was coming in. So I'm really taken aback by this. I know that she is also. I will be sure to get pictures of the family with this and give them to you, so you can add them to your page.
That'll be awesome. If you want, I can flip this over and show you the one that I'm
Yes,
actually
I do.
going to give the parents as well, and the family here. This is the full color one that I do.
how much time? I mean, there's a lot of color. There's a lot of detail in this. How much time does it take for you to color in all of this like that?
Well, for these prints here, they are prints. I went to the printer and I don't color these because the original actually took me over 40 hours to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So all these pieces, like I worked on that one for the last week and a half straight. I stayed up 2 nights and just worked through. Actually, last night I worked through the night. I'm working on another piece right now, which is the 8th drawing or painting rather of the military series set. And it's dedicated to Chris Kyle.
Very nice.
And then the last piece I'm going to do one for the Pentagon. And then the last piece I'm going to do is to bring awareness to homeless and disabled veterans. So I'm sure that'll offend some people too, but who cares, right?
You must have a lot of energy. I mean,
I do. I'm very passionate about what I do. I am absolutely very passionate about what I do. And you know, I don't make a lot of money with what I'm doing, only when people want to, come forward. But what my payment is, the smiles on the faces, the appreciation, that's really what inspires me and drives me.
but people can, if they want to support you in this effort, they can donate to you.
Absolutely. I would
Okay.
I would recommend to donate to the American Pride Incorporated, our non-for-profit organization. I've committed this artwork here exclusively to that organization.
Okay.
And these military paintings, actually, we're going to be introducing these officially to the public on July 18th at Cantigny Park in Wheaton, Illinois.
I know where that is.
Okay. Are you from Chicago?
I am. I was born in Elmhurst.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, I was born on the South Side. I was born at Jackson Park Hospital.
Okay.
And but we are going to be giving these to it's going to be Rocking for the Troops. Have you ever heard of that
No.
that fundraiser?
No.
Operation I got it written down here somewhere. Let's see.
Okay, and so for those of you that do want to go to the website, if you go to the Facebook page, there's a nice quick link that'll take you right to their website.
Basically, the Rocking for the Troops is Gary Sinise and Lieutenant Dan Band.
Okay, got it.
So,
okay.
so we are going to be introducing this to the public for the first time in front of a bunch of, military patriotic fans. And we're going to donate a complete set to Deb Reichert. And we're going to donate another set to the Gary Sinise Foundation as well.
This is incredible.
That's great.
It's great artwork.
Thank you.
I'm really quite impressed. I'm really glad that Sherry connected us so that we could bring you on and share you with all of our listeners. And I'm really honored and touched that you've brought this so that we can donate that to the Brian Terry Foundation.
Well, every time I go somewhere and I donate, I always bring a couple extra pictures because my friends tell me I have Forrest Gump luck. Like opportunities just fall in my lap.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, I found out like 11 hours before I was going to meet him that I was going to be able to meet Albert Pujols. And I actually did a picture of it, but I gave it away because I actually coach Little League out here. And at the end of every year, I give away one picture. I give them all a raffle ticket, and then one kid on the team actually wins a piece of my art.
How do you have time to coach Little League also?
Well, I'm kind of retired, so
Okay, I got it now.
I'm actually disabled myself. I was in a bad accident in Chicago.
Okay.
So, but
As you've been describing everything, like I'm a pretty busy person, and I think I've just met the person that's even busier than I am.
hence the nickname. See,
Biz. I got it. Yep, it's definitely fitting.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's coming up or anything in your world that you'd like to let our listeners know about?
Well, the one thing I would like to say is I'm doing this tour it's my way of fighting against the terrorism. And, sometimes you need to turn off the news because all it is a scare tactic, I mean, they're telling you that now that, terrorist activity could be coming on the train. It could be coming overseas and through the ports, but they're letting everybody walk right over the border. So it's kind of, dime holding up a dollar right there. So in my opinion, don't worry about it. There's nothing you could do to change your day's numbered anyway. So why not fight against it? Like my dad's old school. So, he's the type that, I'd rather fight on my feet than die on my knees, so to speak. So, we are Americans, and, this country was made great by fighting the system. and fighting against bad. I mean, we're good by nature. That's why we help everybody around the world. And the world is actually taking advantage of us right now. And I love my country, but I'm not a big fan of the government at this point.
Sure.
And they, in all reality, they need to grow up here and start standing up for what's right in this country, because the people are waking up and the people don't like what's going on.
I agree. 100%.
We have this conversation lots of times.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
we agree with
Yeah.
you.
Very nice. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Again, the artist is Mark John, and you can find more at the American Pride Journey, their Facebook page. Like the page, share the page. Just really incredible. I'm speechless, which doesn't happen very often.
Yeah,
So,
your work's beautiful.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing this.
You're
with
welcome.
us
Thank you
today.
for having me. It's been an absolute delight.
Good.
And maybe I can come back another time, because I only told you probably about 10% of the story,
Okay.
because every donation has its own story within it.
Absolutely. I'd love to have you back.
So yeah, I'd love to come back and talk some more, because I think your audience would appreciate what I'm doing. And it's time to hear some good news instead of some bad news all the time. It seems like, the reporters, all they do is seek out the bad things. And I think some of the good things need to be told too. And I'm ready to come out of my shell and kind of like show the world what I've been doing lately. So
Good. Well, we'd love to help you with that.
thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank you. Well, another great show.
Yes.
We'll be back next Saturday. If you like sports, we will not be back next Saturday.
We'll be back next Saturday. It might be the last Saturday.
Okay, so we may or may not be here next
You're
Saturday.
just gonna have to stay tuned because I'm not quite sure. We're gonna be off for a couple weeks, so I don't know
For
if
spring
that's
break.
starting. Yes, I don't know if
Okay.
that's starting this week or after next week.
Okay. But one thing that I do know that's happening is right after this show, if you like sports, you're going to want to stay tuned, because JD's Rockin' Sports is up next. And be sure to check out all of the other great shows, great content on vetsonmedia.com. No Limits Radio Show is just one of many shows that are on vetsonmedia.com. So please go there, check it out, and have a blessed weekend.
Amen to that.
See you next week.
Bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red, the bombs busting in air, gave proof through the night.